time breaks. Doesn't matter, weak or strong. Take your time and do
Episode 3. We're gonna dive right into this with relationships. We got some weddings coming up. We're actually making a trip down to. No, it wouldn't be down. It'd be up to Georgia,
Valdosta,
next week. So we thought it would be a good time to talk about relationships
and love.
and love. Yeah, lust, love. Which one is it? It's gotta
versus
be love.
love. Oh.
Versus. Okay.
Love versus lust.
Lust. Love versus lust. Lust versus
But
love.
love.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, that's like what a woodchuck.
No, don't.
Woodchuck.
Don't act like that today. So, first question we got is, what are your thoughts on an open relationship? You think that would work, or what are your thoughts?
Absolutely
what are your takes?
not. I do not think that would work. That's the love versus lust. That's all the way lust.
Yeah.
Like, we were intended to love one person and have a connection with one person. We were not made to have relationships with multiple people. And I feel like if you're going outside of your relationship, then why are you in the relationship anyway? Like, why are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with
I
that.
don't understand that.
And it's not the fact of being jealous either. It's like, I wouldn't want my wife or girlfriend or fiance, whatever, having, those relationships with other guys and, the stuff that you do in a relationship and just how close you get and connected with one person. It's like, I don't know if I could sleep at night if my girlfriend's.
Well, I wouldn't want to share you. Just personally,
Yeah.
I just wouldn't want to share you.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's kind of weird if you ask me.
There's some like celebrities that do that though, that have like open relationships.
Yeah, and
are like perfectly happy, and they come together. And I'm like,
I
don't understand that.
I've heard Jelly Roll.
Yeah, that's what I was. That was the celebrity I was thinking of. Jelly Roll and his wife.
Relationship's open, and I don't know. They seem happy, but
I guess
I don't know.
that's all like what you're seeing on social media.
Yeah,
surface level happiness.
That song, I only talk to God, that probably really comes into play in that relationship.
When he needs a favor, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's a no for me. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I just, it comes to a point where you're either going to date someone because you both want to do open, or you're looking somewhere else because that's not what you're going to do.
But, like, what's the point of being in that relationship anyway if you're both going outside of it?
Maybe that's what they believe.
I guess. Well, okay, but, like, I don't know. On that topic, what about having friends of the opposite sex? Like, for example, like, you had a friend that was a girl and I had a friend that was a guy or whatever.
I don't know. I think I wouldn't say, like, I'm not going to go out of my way and text girls or, like, say, hey, how you been? Like, you want to hang out? Like, I would never do that stuff. But I think it's okay to have friends with couples.
Right. Yeah. I agree with
that. One of my best friends is Adam, and he's got his wife Maggie, and you're friends with Maggie, and I'm friends with Maggie, and like that. But
it's like a couple of friends.
Like, I don't.
But you were friends with them before.
Yeah,
I
grew up with them.
Yeah, you grew up with them.
And I got a bunch of friends like that, but I wouldn't say, like, to a random girl that I'm friends with before and say, hey, just checking in with you, seeing how my friend's doing. Like, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
I feel like it's almost being like, there's room for, like, not cheating per se, but it's just an argument you don't want to have, I feel like, and it's just avoid it.
Yeah, I agree. But if I would go, like, if there is, like, a person out there that's a girl and I've known, and I said, hey, you gotta be, like, if she, like, responds to something of mine, or she says, oh, you guys are so cute together.
That's different. Yeah,
and
that's
I respond back and say, yeah, I would love, I'd love for you to meet Sydney. She's awesome. But I don't think that would ever really happen. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
So,
I know what you mean.
yeah. What about you? Do you think you kind of on that same?
I'm on the same page of just like not like absolutely not. Like I think the couple thing is an exception.
Yeah.
Like couple friends, like that of the opposite sex, like
Yeah.
that's good, like that's okay. But no, I'm not gonna like. No,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna avoid it. But
No,
yeah.
exactly, and I think that's one of the main things on like keeping not that specific topic, but like being on the same page as your partner.
Mm-hmm,
Like every day you wake up and you're like, okay, we're on the same page. We don't have to. Like I'll never go through her phone, or she'll never go through my phone because we trust each other.
I mean, your For You page is better than mine, so I do go on your phone.
Yeah, I actually
And look
she
at your
probably
For You
spends
page.
more time on my phone than I do.
Whatever.
My For You page is good. Ever since I
good.
bought that truck, though, it's
all
trucks.
well. It used to be like all funny stuff. Now it's like funny stuff and truck stuff. So I just swipe past the truck stuff.
But it's just being on the same page as your partner creates a happy relationship. I think we want the same things. We have the same goals. We're building towards the same thing. We're all it's the same page. We're writing the same book with the same spiral, everything, same pencil.
Yeah.
So it's good. And I can honestly say I've never been this happy in a relationship in my life. So
me too.
I guess that's what you get for being on the same page as someone. So yeah.
True love does exist.
True love does exist. Can you, speaking of love, can you truly love someone if you've never met them in person?
That's a good question. I mean, I felt a connection to you. Like, we had, like, met each other on the beach, but, like, then when we exchanged phone numbers, like, I was getting to know you over text and that kind of thing, like, before our first date. So I feel like I had a connection, and I was like, wow, like, I had this feeling of, like, wow, this is going to be the person I marry. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
I feel like, I guess in a way, yes.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a potential. Maybe not fall in love off the rip before meeting them, but I think it definitely puts suspense in your head and their head and their mind and all that stuff of, like, this person could be the person I love. Yeah. And then, if you're building that suspense and you meet for the first time and it's just like, wow, like you think that person's automatically gorgeous and like, she's beautiful or he's handsome, whatever it is. And if your connection's that strong leading up to the first time meeting, I think that's when it like hits off really well. So we didn't text for that long, and we met each other. Before our first date. And so I think it was... You were like nervous to ask me. Like, about our first date. Ask me on the first date. Like, I feel like it took you, like, a long time to ask me on the first date. And I was like, well, you want to, like, Yeah, well, I also went through some stuff that I didn't want to get. I didn't know if I was ready to get in a relationship again. Yeah. I was making sure this was, the right choice. And obviously, it's the right choice. You were protecting yourself, I see. Yeah, so that's good. I'll let you ask this question to me first, because I have a good one for you. Which one do you want me to ask? The partner gift. Oh, what is the best gift you've ever received from me? The best gift I ever received. So it's small, but it means a lot. So I went down to Broadway. I was in Nashville, Tennessee. I lived there for a little over a year. And I went down to Broadway, and when you go down to Broadway for your first time, you have to get a cowboy hat or something hanging on my wall. But you have to get a cowboy hat or, something that shows your, like boots or like Broadway or whatever. So I went down there and got me a cowboy hat. But I had one of my favorite. I wore it every single day in Nashville, I swear. If you check every picture from 2020 to 2022, I was wearing this hat. And not this hat. It was a maroon Costa. It's in my closet right now. A maroon Costa hat I wore it every day. It had sweat marks all over. It was dirty as crap. And
Had like salt marks too. I
Salt,
saw
yeah.
in some of the pictures.
yeah, and I wore because I wore it in the beach. I
Right.
wore it in the pool, whatever. So I bought this cowboy hat, and I was like, oh my God, I do not want to carry this freaking hat around all night. It was like 7:30. So yeah, that's pretty early to go out. But so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna throw it away. I'm gonna throw it away and buy another one.
My question is like, why didn't you just like hook it to your belt?
Because I didn't want to do that at the time. So I threw it away, wore the cowboy hat all night, woke up the next morning, and it was kind of fuzzy in the morning, and was like, dude, where is that Costa hat? So I never told you this, but I actually got my truck the next morning and drove to Broadway.
Oh,
and
you didn't even tell me that.
Checked the trash can, and it was not in there. So I guess they cleaned it out. But so fast forward, a lot of months later, I come down to Melbourne, move, get a house, blah, blah, blah. And I meet Sydney. We start talking, and we get to dating, and then, what was that, like 2 weeks into dating, maybe?
Yeah,
a month
I
in?
think so.
I think it was a month
you
in.
were showing me pictures of stuff, and you were like, oh, this hat, you know, like,
I think it was a month in.
And I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, I bet I can find this hat.
And a month in, and I'm at work, and I come home, and she was like, I have a surprise for you. I can't wait for you to see it. And I was
I
like,
did do
oh,
this.
God. Shit, I can't wait for you to see it. I was like, oh, God, what is it? And I opened the box, and it's the freaking Costa hat. And
Yeah.
I looked online. I couldn't find it. I don't know what she did. Still hadn't told me to this day. But now I have the Costa hat that I threw away on Broadway, which is awesome. So
That's your favorite gift?
Yeah, that's my favorite gift.
Oh.
Yeah. What about me?
Anytime you get me flowers.
Flowers, really?
Yeah, I love the flowers. I think it's just thoughtful. Like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna grab some flowers on my way home, or like whatever. Yeah. Or when you like asked me to be your girlfriend, you wrote it in a manila envelope. Yeah. Will you be my girlfriend? So I have that like now, and probably this bracelet too.
Yeah, I'll do it like that. It's very shiny. It's pretty bracelet.
You did a good job.
Thank you. That's those are good gifts.
Yeah.
Those were.
Oh, you got me like jean shorts one time. That was cool.
Yeah.
Because I've been wanting new jean shorts. So that was cool.
Shit, you're gonna have to edit this out. So another question for you. What's the best relationship advice someone has ever given to you? Whether it's me, my family, your friend, your whoever. What's the best relationship advice?
I think, well, there's a couple. Can I give you a couple?
Yeah, I think that's acceptable.
Be their best friend. I think that's a really good one. Like, you're my best friend. I think just waking up every day choosing you is another one. Like, yeah, there's going to be, like, tough days, like, people argue, whatever, like, whatnot. And I think another one would be just putting your needs at the forefront.
I agree. Yeah, those are kind of goes with mine. I would say best friend for sure, and always dating them.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's
a really good one.
And always challenge the other person to be better.
Yeah. A
better person, because if you guys challenge each other, I think you both become better, and you both work your way to the top, and you're having that successful
to that common goal. Yeah.
So always push each other. Don't I wouldn't say, obviously I'm not an expert on relationships, and you're not an expert on relationships.
No, by no means.
We're not relationship
therapists.
Therapist, or whatever you want to call them. And so, the segment, we could add that in this segment. Don't act like that.
Don't act like that.
Jay Show, that's for you. But I would say that if you keep pushing each other to like your full potential,
Yeah.
because I see like I see that some maybe you do something or you're trying to do something or something. So I think you just gotta push yourself to your max effort, and both parties, both sides push each other to their max effort, because that's when you build something strong.
Yeah, I was gonna say you become stronger with each other, like together.
Yeah. So my parents have been married for 26, 27 years. Sorry, Mom, Dad, if I got that wrong. And her parents have been, what, 30 years?
38.
38 years. So we got some good backgrounds of relationships, so that's good. But, yeah, I mean, just always love them. You're going to have ups and downs, so you got to just be there for them. And, when stuff hits the fan or
I think showing up is a big one.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Let's see what we got here. When does a relationship become exclusive? So when are you closing your eyes and open those gates to heaven and saying, wow, we are not a thing anymore. We're actually dating and a girlfriend, boyfriend,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you felt? Like when we were started dating?
Absolutely.
Oh, you want me to answer first?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. Ladies first.
Ladies first. So, I think exclusivity is kind of a mutual thing, because I feel like if there's a lack in communication, like when you're exclusive, like one person's gonna be upset.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're spending like the majority of your time together, like I'm talking about the beginning of the relationship. When you're spending the majority of your time together, then that's like, I feel like then you're exclusive. Like you're not like spending time with someone else and that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't really do that though. Like you were the only person I was talking to.
See, I think I've always been in the same thing. Every relationship I've ever been in has been the same thing. It's I meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll text you.
Uh-huh.
Then I'll meet you, right? Because in our generation, it's either you're getting on Tinder, Hinge, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Or you meet someone that actually wants to talk to you in person, which is rare, and then you get their number and whatever. But everything usually starts off as you meet the person and you start hanging out. Maybe you go on a date, it goes well. You go on another date, goes well. Then you start hanging out, right? And then you're texting each other every day, and you're like, good morning, what are you doing? Let's get a bite to eat tonight, or why don't you come over and hang out at the house for once, It's like, once you get past that stage, and then I think if you can tell if they're both parties are on
100%
on the same page, because you could go, well, I like you, you like me. I think, some 7th grade lockers, dating type stuff. But I think it's always been the same for me. It's meet the person, talk.
When did you know with me?
This may be a freak show, but I called Adam, my best friend Adam, Adam.
Yeah.
And told him like right after, and was like, yeah, I think she's, we're gonna hang out a lot. Like, this might be the difference. So I knew pretty quick that I would end up dating you of some sort, and obviously we're 6 months in the road, so it's gone very well, and I'm happy, and I wake up happy every day, and I think that's what drives me too. So
me too.
Cool. I think the last question we got here, and then we'll wrap up. We'll go through some new things we got for you. But going out to bars separately, what's your take on that?
No. I feel like this might cause some controversy, but I feel like we are in a relationship together. Like, we are building a future together. Like, our time, like, life's short. So our time that's spent together, or our time should be spent together, if that makes any sense. Like, I get, like, oh, you're going to a bachelor trip, like, whatever, like, that's fine. But, like, we are building a future. We are spending our time together towards this common goal of the future. And I feel like it just leaves room for, like, jealousy and arguments. And I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I would say bachelor trips, bachelorette trips, whatever. I don't care about that. But I would never sit at the house. Like, for example, we're recording this on a Friday. The viewers will see it Sunday. But Friday, we're both home this weekend, whatever. I'm not going to say, hey, Sydney, I'll see you later. I'm going to actually go to downtown Melbourne or wherever and go out to some bars. And if you can pick me up at 2 a.m., that'd be great. Like, I would never.
Do you think that's because we're living with each other? Or
I don't think that's. No, I think that's. You set boundaries with a person, and if you don't agree with them, then they should, if you're not on the same page as your
it goes
partner,
back to the being on the same page. Yeah, it goes back to that.
If you're not on the same page as your partner, then, it's like, what are you truly doing together? Like, if you don't just if you guys just disagree on everything, then there's no common ground,
Right.
Obviously, you're going to disagree on some things, but the majority of stuff and things and goals and activities and stuff, I mean, you should, for the most part, agree. Like, okay, we're not going to go out to bars. Yeah, we're not going to go to bars by ourselves. I'm not going to go to the bar and drink and have you pick me up at 3 a.m. Like, that would never happen. But just stuff like that, I mean, no. As long as you're on the same page with your partner, I think you can have a great relationship.
Yeah, I think having that common ground, like you said, having that foundation to build on top of a great relationship.
And I got growing up, my family, I've got to see hand first of my mom and dad. They've been, my dad yells at my mom sometimes about some stupid stuff, but my mom's just like, "Oh, Craig,
they're so
whatever."
funny.
But
they are best friends, though.
And then my papa and Nana, they were married for a very long time, so I got to watch that too. And unfortunately, he's not here with us, but that man was somebody that I think everybody who knew him would want to be like. So I got to watch a lot of good relationships and marriage and all that. And Sydney's parents have been married for, what would we say, 38 years. So that's another one too. And
they do a lot together.
It's good to watch and good to see and see what's right and see what's wrong and stuff like that, and form a relationship. Not off of what they're doing, but just how you think it would mold into your life.
And I think, unfortunately, like, our society now is, like, gotten farther and farther away from, like, that family, like foundation of, like, the mom stays home, the dad goes to work, like, that all, like, women are almost getting made fun of to stay home and cook and clean and take care of the kids. Like, our society, like, makes fun of women for doing that.
I don't think it's make fun of. I think unless you, like, make a lot of money, you can't afford to do that right now.
Right, and that as well, like, inflation, like, it's pushed the woman even farther out of the home to where you're having to be a dual income family.
Yeah, but I mean, I would never, unless I'm out here making $800K a year, people you're gonna have to work. I mean, it's society, so government, it's tough. I mean, both my parents work, and it is what it is. So,
yeah, mine too.
Last but not least, Georgia football is playing a night game versus an SEC school.
I know.
Wow, number one team in the country is finally getting to play at nighttime for an SEC matchup. He's just, wow, it puts me to tears. But that was really the big news I had for everybody.
Oh, I was wondering what it was. I was
No,
like on the edge
it
of my
wasn't
seat. I was like, what are we going to talk about?
It wasn't anything special.
Braves are playing tomorrow,
Braves
too.
are playing in LDS. First series, Phillies. Phillies, I think, are kryptonite.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun to watch, and I'm excited. We got a good weekend of football, and we got Saturday and Sunday, and we're back to work. That's what it is. Anything else to add to the show? Or?
Well, this is kind of about sports. I did see that, I don't remember what team it was, they got trucks, part of the NIL deal.
Utah, I think that's stupid because
they got
it was on
brand new Ram trucks.
Those will break down on the side of the road in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're not a Ford F-250.
Yeah, they ain't the Ford Lariat out there, 250 diesel. Don't act like that, Sydney. But yeah, so I think that's a stupid move because you got 85 scholarship players on the football team. 85 got trucks. There's walk-ons. There's no scholarship kids. I'd be sitting there like,
I'd be pissed.
If I was a starter too and I was a walk-on, I'd be like, I ain't catching that football. I want that truck too. He ain't better than me.
Give me your truck and I'll catch the football.
But yeah, that's kind of messed up. But well, we hope you guys like this one. Just a little tad bit of relationship advice. Not that we're experts, and just what we think in life. So tune in Sunday at 6 p.m. to catch this live, and we'll be back Thursdays and Sundays every week.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.
See you.
Hit me like a ton of bricks. Doesn't matter, weak or strong. Take your time and do your tricks. All I do is sing